welcome back to my channel. Today we are filming another episode of the Lunar podcast. My name is Lori and I am your host here. We're filming in a little bit of a different location today. I was a little bit lazy and didn't want to get my tripod, which if you guys could see how the camera was set up right now, it would have just been easier to use my tripod. So yeah, it took me like 20 minutes to get this set up and it still might fall. So this could be fun. I don't know if you can see in the frame my dog, the way he is looking at me right now makes me feel so sad. But anyways, I must start off this video by saying thank you so much for all the love and support on my last podcast. It seriously means a lot to me. It was really hard to put something like that out there, and just the fact that I have so many new friends now and made so many connections, and I totally don't feel so alone anymore. It's just, this community is amazing. So just thank you so much. Thank you to anyone who took time out to leave a comment on that video or go over to Instagram and send me a message. You have no idea how much that helped me and how that changed more of my outlook on things. I am filming this podcast a little later than I have been trying to. I've tried to stick to an every 2 week schedule or every other week schedule. I've just been doing a lot of things. I did post a tutorial as my last video. If you guys didn't see, we'll talk about that in a minute. But I also have been working on some really exciting projects, and I've also just been trying to focus on myself and make sure that I am getting to a healthy place and I'm not just like distracting myself. So I really appreciate everyone who reached out and shared their story with me, or just a funny story, or just a nice comment, literally anything. You guys are the best. I love my community and I'm just grateful for each and every one of you. Everybody tends to be pretty positive, especially on my podcast. And even the people that give it a thumbs down, I still appreciate you too. But yeah, with all of that being said, I haven't done a whole lot of knitting, but I have done enough where I guess I could film a podcast, so we're gonna do it. Today is mostly works in progress. As you can see, I'm not wearing any finished objects, mostly because I don't have one, but also this weather has been insane. Today is like 57 degrees is the high, and it's like too hot for anything knitwear, but like too cold to not have like a sweatshirt or something on. It's weird. I don't know. I'm confused most of the time, as I'm sure most of us are. And I also want to say I hope everybody is hanging in there. I know the laws here in Indiana have lifted a little bit, and bars opened up today. I think restaurants opened up today, as well as all shopping opened up last week to 50% capacity. I am still choosing to stay home most of the time. I did have to make a run to Joann's for I went to Michael's. I had to get some yarn for a very, very exciting opportunity that I'm working on, and I am just so grateful because honestly, without this platform on YouTube, it wouldn't be something I could do. So I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk about it just yet. I'll have to like get information on that, and then as soon as I know, I'll let you guys in on what I'm working on. It's just really exciting right now. So lots of things are happening, but maybe we'll get more into that at the end of the podcast. Today, I just want to go ahead and hop into knitting because that is why we're all here. So, the first and only finished object that I have is this big chunky cable knit blanket here. It's so squishy and I absolutely love it. I think it suits my parents' living room perfectly. My mom loves it, my stepdad loves it, so I think it has its new home here for sure. I just really wanted to make another blanket tutorial for you guys because you really loved my last one, and again, I like to do things that are a little bit beginner friendly, and so I thought that this one would be a perfect beginner pattern for somebody wanting to be a little adventurous and try out a cable. Like, I absolutely love it. It's a super simple pattern. It's only an 8-row repeat, so it's not a lot to remember, and it's pretty repetitive at that. So if you guys are interested in this pattern, I do have it written up on my blog, which I always have linked in the description. But I also have a video tutorial for it too. If you're more of like a visual learner, you can go check out my last video, or you can check out my playlist for knitting tutorials. So I really like it, and I hope you guys do too. So that's my finished object this week. Not a whole lot to say. I did use an all acrylic yarn, so I didn't have to block it, which was really nice. The last blanket I made my parents was like a wool blend, so I had to give it a nice block when I was done, and sometimes that's annoying because you have to steam block it. My mom does have a steamer though, so that would be fun to play with. Anyways, sidetracked. But yeah, the last one I made had like a wool content, so I needed to block it out a little bit to loosen everything up. But this one I did not have to do that for. So I just really liked that it was easy, like ready to use right away project. It was also super affordable. I think I used 4 balls. I think the balls are like $6 each, so it was a super affordable project. I'm totally gonna stop rambling about the blanket now and move on to some more exciting projects. Not that I don't love this one, but I did pull out, if any of you guys have been around for a while, you know what's in this bag, but I did pull out that everlasting sweater project that I have. So I have been working on this tea leaf cardigan for almost 3 years, I think. And I just want to get it done already. So I've been pulling it out every so often, and I have some exciting progress to show you today. Here it is. I finished a sleeve. You guys, look at that. So exciting. It's a little baby sleeve, it looks like, because it's a drop shoulder. Let me just put it on for you, in fact. So this sweater I did with a Craftsy class. So it was like the very, very first sweater I ever like tried to do. And I decided that it really wasn't for me. And I kept doing my other knitting thing, and then I slowly worked back into sweaters. But this was the one that like I initially started with, and it's been sitting around for quite some time. But the Craftsy class was really great. I actually did use all of it. Anytime I would pull it back out, I always went back and did the videos, just because not only is Bristol Ivy, she's just so cute, and I love just watching her videos and learning from her, but I also just like visual learning, and it was all in one place, so I just thought it'd be easier, and it was very helpful. This isn't sponsored, I don't get paid or anything. I just think Craftsy classes are great. Blueprint is what it's called now, I think. But yeah, so we just need another sleeve. I totally could have done the other sleeve, but instead I cast it on something else as a reward for finishing this sleeve, as one does. So we're just chugging along the best I can. I have 1 hank left and this much ball that I knit this sleeve with. This will block out to be longer, by the way, but I also like bracelet length sleeves, as you guys know. So I do like the length of this, if anybody's wondering. But this ball was actually from the first sleeve that I knit that I ripped out that was so long and really baggy. I don't know what I did, but this time I just kind of did my own thing with it, since I'm a little bit more experienced with knitting, and it worked out pretty well. And then this is like the leftovers from that other sleeve. This is like probably enough to make this second sleeve, so I might have a full skein left over. But the yarn is Cloudborne Fibers Super Wash Merino Worsted Twist in the magenta colorway, and I'm so glad that I picked this colorway long ago, because I totally do love it still. Like, I know that they had some speckle ones that I was kind of debating between, but I'm so glad I just went with like the basic, because it's still gonna fit into my wardrobe now, although, you know, it's been so long since I started it. Let me move my hair and you can kind of see the color a little bit. I did shorten how wide it was supposed to be. I did like 3 repeats less, just because I didn't want so much lace, and honestly I just want to get this project done. I also took off the lace panel that's supposed to continue down the front side of the sleeve, and the rest is stockinette, and then it kind of stops, and then the rest of the sleeve is stockinette as well. I took that little panel off just because, again, I didn't want to worry about it, and I also didn't know, I think my numbers were a little messed up. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Again, this was like the first thing I ever dove into, and it's not perfect, but it fits, and I totally will wear it, because every single year that I haven't finished this, I said, this is going to be my Thanksgiving sweater. So this year, people, this is going to be my Thanksgiving sweater, and I'm very excited, and it has pockets, so perfect. Yeah. I'm just so ready to get this done, but I don't think that that's going to make me work any faster than I already am on it, to be honest with you. But we'll see. Maybe after I get done with this podcast, I'll feel a little bit of motivation. All right, so let me throw that back in the bag. Okay, we're good. It looks like we're still recording. I have you guys on the rear-facing camera because it's better quality, but I can't tell if we're recording. And I almost just knocked over the camera, but I'm so glad I didn't do that. So yeah. So the next project that I have is the reward for finishing the sleeve on that Languishing Whip. So I decided to cast on a new project as a reward, And I casted on the Turtle Dove by Espastra. I just had to look it up because I totally didn't even remember the name of it. I have had this saved in my Ravelry favorites for a while. I stumbled upon it while I was searching on Ravelry one time, and I knew I had like a yarn that would work with it that I was trying to figure out what to do with. And then I heard the Grocery Girls talking about it. So I obviously had to cast on because I love the Grocery Girls. They're so much fun to watch. Anyways, so I am using Wonder Fluff by Knit Picks, and it is a baby alpaca yarn. So it's like a blown yarn. This is the leftovers from my rug sweater. If you guys remember the rug sweater that I made that I absolutely love. It's such a lightweight yarn. It's very soft. If you are sensitive to alpaca, probably won't be for you because it could be a little bit itchy, but I personally find it very soft. Thankfully, I'm not too sensitive to like different materials, but I don't know this colorway name. It's something heather. It's just a light heathered gray, and I just thought it would be perfect in this sweater. So the Turtle Dove, I actually started using my iPad again, so I can show you guys a picture here. This is the Turtle Dove, and it's just a big drapey, poncho-y, swancho-y sweater that I would like to have in my wardrobe. So there we go, I cast it on. This is actually originally knit with Woolfolk Luft, which I'm actually using in another project, so it's kind of been fun to compare them. I'm really enjoying working with them simultaneously just to kind of see the differences, and I'm actually making a review video for the Woolfolk Luft, and I think that it'll be cool to have that comparison because this one is significantly more affordable, so I think that'll be fun. If you guys are interested in that, keep your eye out on my channel because I'm almost done with the project that I'm working on. But that's all I have so far. Just the twisted rib collar, and then I'm starting on the raglan. And I actually am making the second size, which would be quite large on me, but I did change my needle size just because I wanted a little bit of a tighter gauge. So hopefully it turns out. It looks a little small right now, I guess. I don't really know. Also, I definitely did the short rows wrong. Maybe I didn't, but like there's no way I didn't do them wrong. The pattern was a little like weird for me to understand how it was written. Also, it's a free pattern, so I don't ever complain when a pattern is free how it's written. Like, it's free, so I don't care. The math is done for me, and it's written out, so it should fit. I think I shortened the collar by an inch as well, so yeah. I can't wait to get more progress done on that so it doesn't look so weird and you guys will be able to really envision the top, but that's living in my Tanny Casey bag. Hopefully it'll fill it up a little bit better soon. Gotta put this yarn over there, and I'm just gonna go right into my Limpy Cardi because it's using the Woolfolk Luft yarn, so it kind of vibes with the last sweater. But I made significant progress on this since I saw you guys last. I think I had just split for the sleeves whenever I talked to you guys about this last, and you couldn't tell what was going on. But now I think you can kind of tell that it's a sweater. A really, really cool looking sweater. This construction has been a blast. The only reason it's not done right now is because I ran out of yarn, and Andrea from 614 Knit Studio, who I'm sample knitting this for, she needed to send me more, and I just got it in the mail, so I'm totally finishing this today. Like, absolutely. It's so cool. I am making the size large as per her request, and I really like it. So, here we are. I'm working on this sleeve right now, this one right here, so hopefully it'll start to get a little more sleeve-like, but it's such a cool piece, you guys. Oh, I absolutely love it. I like that I can try it on for you. So it's kind of like a weird, I don't know, it's like shorter, and then it goes down in the back, and this will block out to look a little bit better. And then it has pockets. I love sweaters with pockets. That's so much fun. The only thing that I really not enjoyed about this is, of course, the having to purl a lot, but this is totally worth it in my opinion. I think it's so cool. Like, I don't know if I'll make one for myself, but I've seriously been considering like making one for myself. The yarn is great. I really like the yarn. I love all of the ribbing. Even though it took forever, This is a chunky weight yarn, so like I can get over it. It wasn't that bad. Would have been worse if it was fingering weight. But yeah, so I think that this is a really cool pattern by Vera Valimaki, if you guys are interested. I think it's a little underrated right now. Maybe it's not, and I'm just crazy. Maybe other people are making it, but I haven't seen anybody, and I really like it. It's cool. And if nothing else, the construction is really fun. And when it blocks out, it's gonna really drape, and I can't wait to show you guys the finished look. And I have an outfit planned in my head to take pictures of it with, and I cannot wait. It's going to be amazing. Be prepared. Yeah, so there you are. It's a little bit of a close-up on my lumpy cardi, and the color is gorgeous. This is the L14, I think, the colorway L14. So, yeah, I love it. All right, and I have one more work in progress that you guys have not seen yet, and it's living in my big bag. I am doing a sample knit for Handmade Home Fibers. She also has the Sorella account. If you guys are familiar with her, she's amazing. I love Ashley. I've been following her for very many years. So I am so excited to be sample knitting for her. I'm sample knitting the Once in Floral by Maxim Cyr. I have been following him since pretty much he started, and his stuff is so good. So I'm really excited to be doing this. I will say this color work is a pain in my butt. I don't love color work, like it's not my favorite thing to do, but I like the outcome. I'm more of a product knitter than a process knitter, which is why I think I enjoy sample knits so much. But yeah, there's a lot of float catching, and there's some three color strands that you have to carry in one row for a couple rows, and that's a pain in the butt as well. And then sometimes you have to do increases all at the same time. So it's a great pattern. I'm not trash talking it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just I don't always find that super enjoyable. And I also would say that it's probably not super beginner friendly, in my opinion. Maybe like an adventurous beginner if you're willing to like commit to learning, like doing a lot. So yeah, let's put it over my head because I have it on a long cord, and that never happens. I think I was trying to stretch out the color work to make sure it looked good because I get self-conscious about my color work. Like, is anybody else that way? You get super self-conscious that it's like holy, but also this is a super wash yarn, so that's gonna happen. But yeah, it's a very low contrast color. I'm trying to anyways, it's very low contrast on the color choices, which is another thing that's like kind of concerning me, but I'm sure that she knew that was gonna happen. I'm trying to get a little more done so I can get good pictures to send her. But yeah, that's kind of what it looks like so far. It's super cool. I like the low contrast, and I think once I finish the color work, that's usually when I like color work the most, once I finish it, like the whole part so you can see it all together. But usually when it's like halfway through, it kills me. It usually takes me forever because I have to stop after every round and just admire and examine it and like pick out all the flaws because that's just how my brain works. But these are the colors I'm using. I don't have any names for these. She sent them without labels. I think it's from her Spring Botanical collection, and you can't get that anymore. You had to pre-order. So I'm so sorry. I wish I could like give you more information on the yarn, but it's just a basic 80-20 base. This is a very cool blue color that has a little bit of green in it. It's very tonal, like periwinkle and like some white, so it's pretty cool. And then this one is like a creamy yellow. It just kind of reminds me of a canary yellow, to be completely honest with you. She said cream in the email, but I would say for me it's more on the yellow side. And then this other one is a very tonal pink. It kind of has a little tinge of that yellowy cream to it as well. So yeah, it very much complements it, but it does kind of get lost a little bit. But I think it's still really cool. And I think once it's all together, like I said, with more blue around, it'll make it pop and be super awesome. I'm making the size medium. I don't know what the measurements of that are. I've looked a few times, but I keep forgetting, obviously, which is why I have to keep looking. So I think it'll be a nice size on me so I can get a good idea in like pictures, and I can make sure that it's gonna like fit good on somebody else. That's always something that's concerning whenever I send these off. I'm like, are they gonna like the way it fits? Like, I don't know if they try it on. I don't know what happens with them after I send them off usually. It's just, I don't know. They have a whole life after me. But yeah, that's the last work in progress that I have to show you guys. So I guess that was a little bit of knitting. I wasn't completely lazy. A little lazy. I think I had to start some things over a few times on some other things like this blanket, and I don't know. I don't know what I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of planning on what the next stages of my life are gonna be like. I've had another exciting opportunity come up, so I could be somewhere new by the end of the month, and that's pretty exciting as well. Also terrifying, but that's just all part of the process, and I'm just trying to be excited about it and be positive and just love it. It's gonna be great. A new journey is unfolding, and I can't wait to take you guys with me. I think I'm gonna film like more personal like life things, like share more with you guys, just because I think it's cool that a lot of people can relate, and there were like conversations going on in the comments, and that was really cool too. So I don't know. Yeah, just thank you for all the support, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will see you guys in my next video, which might be a yarn review. I guess we'll see. All right, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below on what you're working on, and subscribe to my channel for more content. I'll see you guys later. Bye. By the way, since I told you guys about my tripod situation, this is how you were balancing. You were balancing right here, and this really light yarn was holding you up. So, should have just used a tripod, but here we are, being held up by a bunch of other random things.